Last June 23, 2020, Cebu City was in shock of the sudden declaration of hard lockdown with the intervention of the national government. There was obviously the presence of military forces all around the city. Now, people had different views and reactions to it. Some felt more at peace, while others were more afraid. They felt fear and anxiety all at the same time. This is Christine Fernandez-Fabian, and welcome to another episode of Conversations with Christine. Joining me in this conversation today is a traffic advocate, a member of Cebu Road Heroes, and he is now the Deputy Chief of Operations of Cebu City Transportation Office, Mr. Paul Gotiong. And this is our conversation. Hi, Paul. Hi, Chief.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Yeah, it's the reason actually why I invited Paul in this conversation is to talk about or to go deeper about this big change in Cebu at the moment. I think we started the ECQ around March, somewhere in March, and it has dragged for quite a time. There was another big change. Now, from ECQ, it went to GCQ and then went back to ECQ. And a week after, we are now in this lockdown. We call it the hard lockdown. And some people would rather call it the military lockdown, Paul. So my first question to you is, last June 23, Cebu City declared a hard lockdown, right? So what are the big changes of this new system compared to the previous ECQ, aside from the obvious presence of the military?
Okay. Sige. To correct you or to correct most of the people, actually, it's not really like a lockdown. I think the government is just trying to implement what an enhanced community quarantine is. Okay, as we all know, Magud, the ECQ is the highest form of status for this pandemic, diba? And another thing is they're not military, although we see them like nakakatig and all.
Uniform, yes.
They're actually PNP.
Oh.
They're all PNP. They're wearing the camouflage because it's like a tactical uniform for them.
Okay.
So, na siya. If you check on it, yun, like diba, we have an ECQ, but if everybody was like, well, duway naman kayo nag-quarantine. If you tried to observe the ECQ before when we started the ECQ, and then now that we're saying that it's all lockdown, actually it's practically the same. What differs siguro is that this time implementations are well or hopefully well implemented.
Okay.
I think that's the main problem is the implementation. I think if you compare the first week or the first 10 days of our ECQ last March, diba? Everybody was like inside their homes. The streets were really empty, and then after lang siguro sa Holy Week, medyo
benignit story.
People went out. Yes, and you know that, diba? Trending siya because of just, benignit, because I don't know what's with the benignit that it came. People went out kasi grabe dito from Saturday to Sunday. So I hope this time with the intervention of the national government, then strict implementations can be done already.
Yeah, so a lot of people are wondering, now that you were able to establish it, it's basically the same. So you're saying all the essentials, like essential workers, especially the frontliners, those who are working for the banks, for the supermarkets, for the government offices, they all have the permit to travel, to go out, right? But before kasi, during the ECQ, prior to this, quote-unquote, stricter ECQ, what went wrong at that time? If you may cite an example?
Okay. I think Cebuanos are very wise or creative. Yeah. I think creative would be the best word. Yeah. Because we were all following that. But since, by experience also, because I was traveling from before, when I was traveling from Cebu to Mandaue to check on a hotel, borders were a bit lax sometimes. So there's no really the same, the condition of different borders or checkpoints are not the same. So I think when people see it, they try to find things so that they can go out.
Okay.
Diba? So I think that's one of the things. And then To give more information, Manggod, supposedly when we are under ECQ, they have this term called APOR, or authorized persons outside residences,
Okay.
meaning those people who can go out only should be the frontliners and essential workers.
Yes.
But then maybe perhaps there's a different meaning for some people when you say essential, because different persons are different. Some people will say, essential, this is essential for me, but basically it's not.
Right.
So what essential workers really mean is really like those in the food industry. Of course, where do people eat? Supermarkets, banks,
Yeah, right.
pharmacies. Yeah, I think basically, kana lagi ito ta. Supposedly, if we would have just followed those things,
Yeah.
then it wouldn't be, you know,
Yeah.
it wouldn't
So,
have gotten worse or something.
okay. So again, just for clarification, those who are allowed and not allowed are just basically the same with what's written with what's written in the ECQ guidelines. Nothing has changed except
Yeah,
that it's stricter this time, and the implementation hopefully is
mhm,
better at this point in time, right? Correct.
yeah,
And the presence of,
yeah,
if not military, the policemen in fatigue uniforms, it's more evident. In other words, and I believe
yeah.
there are more checkpoints or stop points before you could go to another destination or another barangay.
Yeah, I think they just put more control lang in the borders, or no, not borders, actually it's checkpoints.
Checkpoints.
If you observe, I think when the national government intervened,
Yes.
they first secured the borders. So the
Right.
borders were very strict because they wanted the people crossing from Talisay to Mandaue, or Talisay going to Cebu, Mandaue to vice versa. They tried to control the borders so that malimit na to ang
Low
mga people coming
transmission.
in.
Oh yeah.
Yes. And then after that, they limited the people from coming in Cebu City. Then they placed in checkpoints within the cities already to
Oh,
limit
that's good.
movement more. And then with the reaction of the Cebu province,
Mm-hmm.
then it became more stricter because, di ba? I think as of today, nobody can get in already. So you have to choose if you work in Mandaue, you have to stay in Mandaue.
Right.
Unless you were part of the essentials again,
Which is
wherein
the
only
delivery
banks. Yeah,
services as well, because like for
yeah.
example us, we are trying to avail of the delivery services for, say, for the meat, for the vegetable, and for the grocery. And some of our providers, I am from Mandaue, but some of our providers
Mhm.
are based in Cebu City. These service providers can get inside, can get in and out of Cebu City and go to Mandaue or Lapu-Lapu, right?
Technically, yes.
Okay, that's good.
Technically, yeah,
For as long as they follow the guidelines, they have the complete
yes,
permit, and their people,
yeah,
those who they deploy on ground are also wearing the proper PPEs like the mask and the face shield and the
mm,
gloves and all those. Then they're good, right? Para
yeah.
safe lang ta. Now, a lot of people are also asking, can, if we may mention, can Grab delivery, Lala Move, and Maxim and other delivery services, are they still allowed to cross the borders?
Right now, I think they can still cross,
Okay.
but again, since the national government already intervened,
Yes.
then they have the right to say now, oops, okay, Mandaue can only deliver in Mandaue, and then Cebu can deliver in Cebu. Remember, Mandaue and Cebu City have different status. So
Right.
Mandaue is GCQ right now. So
Yes.
meaning they can roam around, but with Cebu as ECQ, then we're not equal already. So that's why there are stricter measures to get inside Cebu City.
Yeah.
So as actually there was a talk between the PNP officers on the ground saying
Mm-hmm.
that they would not allow them anymore. But
Oh,
we will only know that because there's no written memo yet.
yet. Oh, I see.
Yeah,
So,
so maybe because I heard somebody talk to some of the food panda saying telling them that we will be restricting you. But
oh,
that's still to be seen in the next coming days.
I see. Okay, I hope they can
Yeah,
consider and reconsider because, of course, we have a lot of things that we need to like buy or purchase that are located in Cebu City as well.
correct,
And
correct.
since we
Yeah,
cannot cross, they are our only access. So I hope they can really come up with a best decision so that we can just stay at home, right? Okay,
yes.
let's go to the next question, Paul. Now, along with the stricter ECQ, I don't want to say any more hard lockdown now. Along with the stricter ECQ this time, all the ECQ passes have been canceled, right?
Agreed,
I
yes.
think it started June 24, 12 midnight, if I'm not mistaken. So
10 p.m. 10 p.m.
10 p.m. of June 23, of June 23. Now, it was then replaced with QR code or the quick response code quarantine pass. So what makes this QR code quarantine pass more efficient compared to the previous ECQ passes?
It's more or less the same. I think what they're doing right now is they're trying to reset everything. Somehow, some households are using 2 to 3, or they have 2 to 3 passes. Diba? You can see it. It's not a lie. If you go to a grocery store, you can see a couple, or let's say a mom and dad, or with a son or a daughter doing their groceries.
How do we
So,
correct the double issuance of the passes? Like how can we correct that one? Na dapat matagbalay, tagsa na lang yun, and dapat doon na ba na siya pangalan nga, since it's a code man, nga kung dili ni mao ang,
yes.
nabay facility to check the code if siya ba ning person nga naka-register sa code?
Yeah, supposedly, if they use the QR code, when they scan your sticker or your ID with a QR code, then your name and your face even comes out.
Right.
But I haven't observed it yet, because I think it was only today that they were distributing, and as far as I know, in my barangay, nobody has came to our place pa.
Received it yet? Because I believe from the news,
Yes.
they will parang allot 3 days to distribute it to all houses. So as we speak, they are currently distributing the QR passes. What will happen?
Yes.
Ganipol, what will happen if, for example, the person carrying the QR code quarantine pass is not the one registered in the system?
Can happen. It's probably
They will
let
be
them
in the
go
gym?
home.
Okay. I thought they
Go
will be
home,
sent to
siguro,
the gym.
I don't know yet. I don't know yet if actually that's what they're doing. They will detain you or whatever. But what will most likely happen is you'll be sent home. So actually, if they really want it to be more effective, they can use the passes, and they tell all the businesses, like for example the supermarkets, the banks, the pharmacies. They will tell the guards, like, do not accept people if they are not valid. I mean, if they don't have any passes, diba? And at least they could also help the government. But yeah, starting yesterday until the 30th, all residents are told to only go out within their barangays. So we expect that maybe starting tomorrow until the 30th, until the end of the month, that there will be a lot of stricter and more patrols already trying to control the crowds also. So, wala, dapat the distribution should be more effective. I mean, well, it really depends, because a lot of people were complaining na, because they don't know me, or they have so much friends, they're given at least 2 passes or so, diba?
Yes.
But with the QR coded passes, I am hopeful also that it can be in a good use, because I think I don't know if there's another LGU or another place who is doing that, but it's a good. I mean, if you try to adapt technology already,
True.
it's a really good move, because diba, when you have a QR passes, if I'm a regular person, let's say to the masses, I'm not saying that they don't know anything about it, but if I'm a regular person, I just see a code. When somebody scans it and it's not my face, then I can be sent home. Diba?
I see. Okay, so those who will be given for each household, those who will be given and assigned a QR passcode, naturally, you should be within the age limit, right? Like 21 to 59?
Yeah.
Okay.
21.
Okay, now Paul, from the QR passes, now let's go to the number coding, because a lot are still asking, nag-take effect pa ba ang number coding sa vehicles?
Yes, it is still in effect. I think what's changed lang is that, remember when we shifted to GCQ, Sundays was already allowed.
Yes.
Diba? Yeah, it was because Cebu City adopted the number coding also of Mandaue. Because remember, the Tri-Cities were supposed to work together. But then to Cebu City, Nabiyaan, the QR code that being passed around, there is a number code, right? Like odd and even. So if you really observe it, it's the same as the vehicle coding that we have.
See. Okay.
Diba? But the problem that is being posted or got a confusion lang is that, what if I get a QR coded pass with an odd number and my plate number is even, di ba?
Even, correct.
So how can which will I follow? Di
Yeah,
ba? So it's like this, di ba? The barangay is the one visiting your homes. So
right.
this is my own
Opinion,
suggestion na lang. So
suggestion.
why not ask your barangay that yeah, you can tell your barangay officials who are distributing, or let's say the PNP visiting your home to say, hey, I have a car, so I have my car is ending in even number, so can you give me a pass with an even
So they can
number,
actually ask
diba?
that. They can actually ask that.
There, yeah, actually, you can request. We can always request naman, diba? Because they will be bringing forms naman. It's a random form anyway. So you can just say, hey,
Just to
can I get
align.
an even?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that we
Just
can be aligned also. And actually, we will be helping the government at the same time.
well, everyone's really hoping for the best, and while others had different reactions, that very night, Cebu City declared, and the national government declared their intervention in Cebu City. Some were
Yeah.
happy, and some were confused. Some were even hurt. But in your personal opinion, Paul, what does it take for this stricter ECQ, also known as the hard lockdown, and of course Cebu City's
Yeah.
battle against COVID to be successful?
In order for us to really succeed, yun, I think we just need to follow. I don't think it's so hard to. I mean, we have been on quarantine for like I think going 4 months now.
Yeah.
4 months, ba? Yeah. See,
Far,
and
far
you know,
difficult
a lot of yes, see, and a lot of Cebuanos are really struggling. And I'm not saying only those who are the masses, or I think all
of
classes
course.
are all very much sacrificing, or not really sacrificing. I mean, struggling, di ba?
Financially,
If I'm a class
emotionally,
A class,
mentally,
yeah. Agree. So I think as a concerned individual, like I mean, I think you're also concerned. I mean,
for sure.
a lot of people are concerned. It's more on the appeal to everyone to really follow the rules. I mean, the rules are very simple. Don't go out. Stay at home. Practice social distancing. It's a very small sacrifice. And how long does it take? We're only asked for 2 weeks, or let's
Unta,
say 14 days.
unta,
Yeah, di ba? Unta.
unta.
So why kung sa Bisaya pa na iutong na lang nato ang 2 weeks rather than to have this drag for the rest of the year. I mean, we really don't know when this will end. And
Exactly.
business owner, as a manager, as a frontliner at the same time, I think all of us are in one way or another is hit by this pandemic. So whether you are rich or you're poor, it will not say that anybody can be contracted
Affected.
by the
Yeah.
disease
Walay
really,
gipili
and
ang
it's
COVID.
really affect, yes, wala gipili ang COVID. So muna siya. I think the best way, I mean, by mere observation alone, I go out on the street for how many weeks already. It's really more on being aware. I mean, people should be aware what this is. So the basic protection that we can have is actually to wear masks every time we're out. We need to wear them when we're around people, and is how to wear the mask, di ba? So
Exactly.
wearing the mask is not yes, it's not under the chin, but it should cover your nose and your mouth, di ba?
Yes. Oo.
So I think it's a very simple what we call practice on that we should have been able to learn already for the past 4 months. Another
Yeah.
thing is like we need to wash our hands often. If
Yeah.
wala kay soap and water, then there
Alcohol,
are
70.
alcohol, sanitizers. Yes.
Clean hands, clear
Another
mind, di ba?
thing, clean hands. Yes, and
Yeah.
then disinfect the things that you hold. We call it magod the high volume areas or things that you need to sanitize or probably at least clean siya ba? Because you'll never know. You're holding your phone, and then 1 minute after you're touching your eyes or your mouth,
The
and
cross
this we
contamination.
cannot see the virus. Yes. So I think that majority should, if kaya, majority should stay home,
Right.
isolate themselves. I think that could really help stop and reduce the spread. So another thing would probably be, because right now frontliner naman ko, you need to also maluwi po mo sa frontliner. It's more on the frontliners and the medical frontliners. Really good siya lalim. We expose ourselves every day to different people, and a lot of people from different walks of life. We actually moatubang nila, whether they ask for for anything, or we try to apprehend or try to, do our work. So we also think of that, because if wala tayong frontliners, then who will save us? We put ourselves on the line also. We're exposed every day.
True.
So dili siya lalim, said. And I see it already for the past 2 weeks, every day being with the frontliners, those people on the ground. Maluya jud ang tao, whether or not naa sila gibuhat or wala, maluya sa gid sila. And it's not really, it's not happy, or it's not good na natay kalalis every day, di ba? Just because they're nakabadlong. And everybody has all the reasons to. I'm sorry to say this, but everybody has all the reasons to go out. I know
Creative reasons.
Yes, creative. Sorry, creative is the right word para positive. Positive sa lain ha, dili positive sa COVID. But yeah, I think about lisod kayo mapriso, not dili priso, lisod kayo na sa tanan na magstay na sa balay. Lisod gyud kayo, so daghan siya, like you said earlier, na daghan kay siya og mga factors, like it can affect us, well, financially already. Another thing is emotionally, psychologically pa. So I think if we survive already the past months, then 2 weeks, stricter 2 weeks or stricter 14 days would not be that hard. Boost our immune system, because this is the one that fights against the virus. So you need to rehydrate, you need to sleep.
Well,
Have proper sleep, and then you have to eat well. If kaya mag-vitamins, then supplement yourself with vitamins.
okay.
So wala siya. I think if ako bago na ako nakabasa lang, they always put this hashtag, di ba, we heal as one.
Yeah.
Di ba?
Yes.
So I think for me lang, we need to heal as one, because if na usa ka pabadlon,
Damay tanan.
then we can never win this. Yes, damay tanan. So it's really an appeal to everybody to really sacrifice, and then makatuwa naman ni tanan. So it needs teamwork.
Okay, Paul. So before we end this conversation, alang sa tanang mga Cebuano, sa tanang mga nagpatuo nga stay home lang yun, bisan galisod na, o sa tanang lakip na sa mga tanang badlungon sa karong mga panahon na. Unsay mensahe nimo alang ilang tanan?
Sige. Sa tanan mga dili bandungon, ug sa mga creative diha nga ganahan gyud mo gawas. I think simple na kayo siya. Kung dili ta what we call this, kung dili ta pinabangay, then I don't know kung when tani mahuman. So it's really lisod gyud ni siya para nato tanan. So 14 days na magbinuotan ka or mo-follow lang gid ta sa unsay gipangayo sa ato ang gobyerno, ug unsay gipangayo sa mga nag-manage aning COVID, then wala man gyapon tayo mapadungan, sila ra gyapon. So follow na lang nila, because if we really follow the 14-day quarantine and we only go out kung unsa ray angay mo gawas, then for sure 100% ma-contain gid nato ang. Speaking for myself lang sa gid ba, I can go out anytime I want, di ba? Pero I only go out yun, even if ganahan lagi ko, I only go out when na ako'y paliton. If ever I go out to work, ilahos gina na ko, wala ko mapalit, so that I will be at home. So I think everybody can be, di ba? Cebuanos are really creative, so let's try to use it. Let's try to use those things na para makasurvive ta for a really 100% 14-day quarantine.
Okay, Paul, thank you kaayo for granting me this interview ha.
Okay, anytime.
I'm sure daghan kaayo nga nagtan-aw karon ang nalamdagan sa mga kausaban sa atong gitawag na stricter ECQ, and apparently it's good to know that it's basically the same, except sa mga ginagmay nga kausaban o mga mas daghan pang presensya sa PNP o sa national government nganhi sa syudad sa Cebu. And let's all hope and pray nga sa tanan natong pagtinabangay sa atong pagpuyo sa atong panimalay sulod sa duha ka semana or butang tagtulo, or i-maximize lang nato para sure lang yun paniguro.
Isa ka buwan.
1 month. Maninguha ta nga kani mapildi na to si COVID, and hopefully kitang tanan makasyagit na gyud anang hashtag nga we heal as one.
We heal as one.
Yes. Kaya Cebu, right?
Kaya na kayo. Kaya na kayo.
Kaya. Okay. Paul, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Nice to see you.
Nice
Bye-bye.
to see you.
And that was my conversation with Mr. Paul Gotiong, the Deputy Chief of Operations of Cebu City Transportation Office. And I hope we were able to give you more helpful insights on the basic difference between this hard lockdown, also known as the stricter ECQ, compared to the previous ECQ. And guys, just for clarity, the guidelines are basically the same. The rules are basically the same. What makes it different this time is that obviously there are more checkpoints. There is the intervention of the national government, and of course, the obvious presence of the military and police forces all around the city. Yeah, that's it. If you have more questions, you can write it in the comment section down below. And guys, don't forget to stay safe, stay healthy, stay protected, wear your mask all the time, wash your hands, and of course, physical distancing. And I will see you on the next conversation with Christine.